Right. Good afternoon and welcome to Southern Cross University's Open Day. Thank you for joining us for the panel for Education and Teaching. My name's Claudia and I'm part of the Future Students team here at Southern Cross and will be your host today. But before we begin, I would like to acknowledge that we are on the lands of the Bundjalung Nation today and pay my respects to their elders past, present and emerging. So we're here today to share insights about studying with Southern Cross. This is a 25-minute panel and we'll have 5 to 10 minutes at the end for any questions. So today I am lucky to be joined by our academic representative, Associate Professor Louise Phillips, who is the Chair of Discipline for Initial Teacher Education, a SCU education student, Ebony Flaherty, and a teacher and SCU alumnus, Eli Cook. So hi everyone. Can I please ask each of you to tell us a little bit about yourself, your situation and your connection with Southern Cross. So we'll start with yourself, Louise.
Thanks. I have been with Southern Cross for a bit over a year now, and I have a long history in education. So started out as an early childhood teacher and studied in that space and began teaching in the 90s and have then moved on to, I did teach in TAFE and then I moved into university in teaching and research. So that's my situation.
Great. About you, Ebony?
So I grew up in Lismore, so I've been around this area and I've been studying at SCU for the last 4 years. This is my final year of study. I've been studying half on campus and online, so bits and pieces around there, and yeah, it's good.
Great. What about yourself?
Yes, I'm Eli, so I'm a Northern Rivers local as well. Came here to uni, I've done a couple of degrees here, finished my education degree a couple of years ago. And similar, I studied both on campus and online, so I've got experience in both, yeah.
Great. And Louise, can I ask, why are you so passionate about teaching?
I'm passionate about education and that education is quality and accessible to everyone. So then I'm passionate about teachers who are inspirational and enable quality education, because it is through education that it's the basis. We all need to know and understand the world, and I see that the teachers, I really want to inspire teachers to enable children and young people who are active and informed citizens that contribute to society. So that's what gets me up in the morning. Yes.
Great. And what kind of demand is there for teachers in Australia?
An extraordinary demand. Many of you have seen that there's a shortage, serious shortage. So let's go through the number one demand is for early childhood. Okay, so right now at this very point in time, we are short across Australia of 6,000 teachers. Then let's move to the second demand, highest demand. It would be in high school teachers, secondary school teachers, in particular the sciences, maths, technology, English and special ed. The technology and design area is, there's really a desert there, and that's where Southern Cross University is quite unique, where they're actually the only university to be offering that in New South Wales. So it's a key area that we're supporting. And more recently, because of the impact of COVID, we see a shortage in the physical education teachers and primary. So there's clearly a dire situation. And in terms of the secondary, to give you some numbers there as well. So in New South Wales, across the next 4 years, will be more than 1,700 teachers short, and the same in Queensland. And across Australia, more than 4,000 secondary school teachers over the next 3 to 4 years.
Wow. And what are the different undergraduate and postgraduate education courses that Southern Cross offers, and how are they structured?
Undergraduate, and we offer the Bachelor of Early Childhood Education, which is a 3-year degree, and this qualifies you to teach in early childhood settings. And then we offer the Bachelor of Education, which is a 4-year degree with specialisations in early childhood primary, primary secondary, and technology and design. We also offer in that initial teacher education space to qualify you to be a teacher in the early childhood. We offer the graduate certificate in early childhood and the graduate diploma. And the Masters of Teaching, so those people who come in with a prior undergrad, can you retrain, requalify as in early childhood, primary or secondary. We also in that postgrad space offer a Masters of Education. So that's more for people who already have an undergrad in education and are wanting to specialise. So there's specialisations in educational leadership, inclusion and diversity, and educational wellbeing.
Great, thank you. Ebony, can you tell us about your experience studying education at Southern Cross and what you have enjoyed most about your course?
Okay, so I'm currently in my 4th year, like I said earlier. I'm specialising in primary with a primary specialisation of science. So, like Louise said, there's a demand for not only sciences in the high school field, but also in primary school, because they're growing into the STEM era where they all like to learn about design and technology processes. So having that at SCU as a specialisation was really good for me. Like I said, I've studied on campus and online. With COVID, it moved to being mainly online at the end of my degree, which I thought it was structured really well online. They had it as you'd have the Blackboard site that was really easy to navigate. The teachers would be really prepared. They'd answer your questions. They were not scary. They just it'd be really well structured, and they just really supported you. And the support provided by the actual uni itself through the library and the learning centre and all those other places and resources that you could go to access information was really beneficial for me, and I can imagine for other students as well.
Yeah. Fantastic. And what kind of electives are available and which did you choose?
So late in my degree, I've had to choose 2 electives. At the moment, I've only chosen 1 so far. I haven't enrolled in my 2nd elective yet, but it's a design and technology processes elective. So it'll be based on my science specialisation. But when I was flicking through the electives that are on offer, there's hundreds of electives across all the different strands of what SCU offers. So there's a lot out there. Yeah.
Yeah, really broad.
Yeah, very broad.
And what are you looking forward to most about becoming a teacher?
Like Louise said, just inspiring the students to want to learn and grow in themselves and what they want to do. I've actually already got my teaching number, so I've been out and doing a few days of casual teaching, which has been really good. And yeah, just being that person for students to not only learn off and learn the education from the curriculum, but also learn ways to go through life and just be that support for them. Rather than a teacher, it's kind of like a friend as well. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Eli, so you are in your 2nd year of teaching after graduating. How did you find the transition from uni to becoming a teacher?
Yeah, look, I find that the university sets you up really, really well with the skills that you need to be successful when you start your initial phase of employment. I really enjoy teaching. Like I've seen education from all angles. I've been, firstly a young student myself, into a parent, as well as a teacher now. So it's really, I've also worked as a support person in a school as well. So it's sort of become part of me, and it becomes part of your identity as well as a person. You do really take that role on as a teacher, not just at the school, but in your community as well. So I find that the relationships that you build with the students and with the community are really important. And I guess the university does quite a bit to help support you to be confident when you first step out and take on what is quite a big role as an educator. Yeah, it's pretty important.
Great. And speaking of that, what do you enjoy most about education as a career?
Yeah, look, just look, I got a class of 22 beautiful primary school students, and walking in every day and keeping a smile on their faces and knowing that I'm making a difference every single day that I'm there is enough motivation for me. It's not about the holidays, it's not about the pay. It's about making that difference, yeah. And you see it. You see them grow. You get the appreciation from the parents. And yeah, later in life, I've seen, as I said, I worked as a support person. You'll meet these kids down the street and they'll still remember your face and they'll go, I remember you, you helped me out at school and all that sort of stuff. So as a teacher, it's only going to get better and better. So like I said, you're part of the fabric of the community as a teacher, and you do have a really important role. So yeah, it's great.
Great. And how did you find your course at Southern Cross set you up for success in the job?
Yeah, so the tutors are excellent. As mentioned over here, like they're open to answering your questions. They're supportive. If you're struggling in any areas, they're very quick to give you a hand here at the university. I studied majority of my education course online, so I found because I was working full time at the time, I found that was excellent. As you mentioned as well, they're really, really well set up. So when they did go into the COVID transition, they were ready to go basically here at Southern Cross, I would imagine, because it was so well set up in the past. So, the tutors are really, really set you up for success, as I said. So, yeah, I found the experience at Southern Cross University was excellent. Yeah.
Fantastic. And a question for everyone. Why do you recommend Southern Cross in particular for education? Starting with yourself, Louise.
So I've taught at multiple universities, and where I see Southern Cross really stands out is that, the Faculty of Education is really committed to recognising and responding to local and global challenges. Mm-hmm. And so, for example, we foreground environmental education. That's a capstone unit because we recognise that climate crises are right here at the doorstep and literally here for poor Lismore residents who was at the rooftop. So we, whereas many others are probably just, following mandates, whereas we're rarely listening to what's happening in the world and locally and bringing in really contemporary research. Also, I recognise that we offer great flexible options. So there's the different study modes. We've got the Eli and Ebony have talked about, but we also have 3 campuses. So there's different home bases you can choose from, and we also now in the 6-week term, there's these options for whether you study one term or another and kind of fit that in across the year. And there's great exit options as well. If your life suddenly changes, you could, if you just did 1 year of the degree, it wouldn't be thrown away. You could still graduate with a diploma. If it was 2 years, you could graduate with an associate degree. So I think there's a lot of flexible options at Southern Cross.
Yeah. Actually, just while you mentioned the diploma, something to mention is that for Diploma of Education students, Southern Cross offers a Destination Australia scholarship for $15,000. So I was just speaking to the scholarship team about this before. I would really highly encourage anyone that is looking into that course to also look into that scholarship too. Just reminded me when you said that. And what about you, Ebony? Why would you recommend Southern Cross for education?
Well, in my personal experience, I found that when we went out on our professional experiences, the SCU team, they had a team that placed us into schools that were local for us. So not only did we not have to travel far and wide to go to our professional experience, but they put us in schools across a broad range of year groups. And for me, my final prac was at Albert Park in Lismore, and I was on a multi-categorical classroom, so it was all the students with additional needs, which was new to me, but it was just the best experience for myself and for my teaching, because I just learnt so many strategies, techniques, and just it really put into perspective what you have to do as a teacher and how to be flexible to teach and just to help support students to achieve the success that they can in their lives. And also the resources that SEU provides, it's just unto none. It's just, they really support you. They actually push to support you, because I don't know if it's common, but a lot of students just think, oh, I'll just fly through it. I'll just do it at my own pace, do what I want. But they actually reach out and they say, do you need help? What do you need help with? We're here to help. We can do that. And yeah, the new 6x6 model as well. I've found that has really helped myself, just purely because you can now focus on the two subjects, 2 assignments, and it's just, I felt like that was really, really good for the degree.
Yeah. And for those who might not be familiar, Southern Cross has just transitioned over to a new academic model, whereby students learn 1 or 2 subjects at any one time for 6 weeks, and then have a break and then start another 6 weeks, rather than a more traditional academic model, which is a 12-week semester where you study 4 subjects. So education is in this new model. All of our courses will be transitioned over by the end of next year. And across the board, we have seen a significant increase in overall satisfaction and grades. So it's been a really positive change for Southern Cross. Yeah. And actually, speaking about that, when you mentioned your experience with students with additional needs, if a student is interested in that, is that integrated into the general course, or is that a separate specialisation? How does that work, Louise?
We do have a core unit that's called Inclusion and Diversity, the Responsive Teacher. And so that is in 3rd year in the Bachelor of Education. But if you wanted to specialise, there is the Masters of Education that's in Inclusion and Diversity.
Okay. Yeah. And those placements that Ebony mentioned, how far into the course do the placements start?
So the placement, for the Bachelor of Education, they start, there's a 5-day immersion in the first year, and then in the second year, it's much more substantial. So a 30-day placement where you actually do need to step up and start practice as a teacher. And then in the shorter programs, the more post-grad, which are like the Master of Teaching, which is 2 years, they start in the second term. So that's the same for the graduate certificate and the graduate diploma in early childhood. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And there's we always aim, and this is a requirement nationally as well, to offer diversity, like Ebony said, to give you a range of experiences. So you across the program, you will be placed at multiple different schools. So it's so important to have a range of experience and equip you with that practical experience, because that's where you really get your teaching license, or learn to. It's a bit like learning to ride a bike. Your training wheels are on when you're on placement, but that's where you really get that practical experience to apply the theory and the ideas that you have in the other units.
Yeah, great. And Eli, is there any advice that you would give to students that are considering studying education?
Yeah, I'll just touch on what I said before. Like, you, as a teacher, you do become part of the fabric of the community. So really understanding and accepting the importance of your role as a teacher, understanding and accepting the influence that you're going to have on a young person and their outcomes later in life. And really just taking that on board and being open to making changes to your own professional way of doing things to best meet the needs of those children, because at the end of the day, they're your purpose as a teacher, is to get the best outcomes for them. So being adaptive, not coming into the profession thinking that you've got all the answers, but really understanding that you've got to be, basically you're learning for life, yeah? You're going to be continually learning new skills, learning new ways of teaching. So being open to that and not, thinking you have all the answers when you come into that profession, yeah? Because you'll develop, you'll grow, you'll get better as a teacher every single day, and that's what I find. So that's my advice to anyone who's starting out as a teacher.
Great answer. Well, thank you all so much for being part of the panel today and sharing your insights. So I'd like to open it up to the group that we have here today. Does anyone have any questions that they would like to ask of the panel? Yeah.
I'm nearly finished my diploma in early childhood. Do you know, would that take some time off studying an early childhood degree or early childhood primary one?
Yeah. Do you want to answer that one, Louise?
Yeah, you certainly do get credit, for the diploma. And I can't speak with absolute authority, but I think it could be up to, might be 6 to 8 units, depending, on how you've done that, Yeah.
If you speak to...
Kylie
Yeah,
can
yeah,
answer
Kylie,
with
I was
greater
gonna say.
authority.
Yeah. 4 units.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. If you want to head down to the lovely client services team who are in the plaza, or chat to these guys after the panel, they can go into more details around that. Yeah. Well, thank you so much to everyone for joining the session today. If anyone has any further questions or would like to speak to someone in more detail, please head down to the plaza. Our student services team are down there, our future students team are down there, so just grab someone wearing an SCU shirt and they'll be able to help you. If you would like to apply for a course today, we can also offer application support, and I believe there's still one more campus tour that you can do. So if you haven't done one yet, I'd really encourage you to do so. If you just head down to the registration desk outside, in the plaza there, they'll be able to take you. And yeah, thanks so much again.